Listening Test Instructions. The listening test is about 50 minutes. There are 6 parts in the listening test. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once. Left-click on the mouse to select your answer. Practice question. There is one practice question. Listen to a short conversation. The passage will be played once. Then listen to the question and choose the best answer.
The economic collapse of Venezuela has left 90% of its population in poverty.
Listening to problem solving. You will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Canadian Airlines. Mario speaking. Can I help you?
Yes, please. I left something on one of your flights last night. I got this number from the internet. Is this the right number to call?
Yes, madam. This is the right number. I need you to tell me your name to start with, so I can fill out a lost property form.
Callie.
Right. Now what happened last night?
Well, I was on a flight last night from Ontario to Alberta that landed at 12:30 a.m. We were delayed a while, so when we eventually landed, I was so tired that I forgot my handbag in the plane.
Did you report this to anyone last night?
No, I didn't notice until I got home, and then it was really too late to phone.
Okay. Let me take a few details for this form and I'll see what I can do.
Question 1.
What woman is looking for?
Question 2.
What does the man ask the woman to do?
Question 3.
When did woman notice that her bag was missing?
What is your name and address?
My name is Callie. I live at 48 Wyndham Road, Ontario.
Good. Your contact number?
Well, my mobile number is 07754-897-432.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch the second one. What was the mobile again?
07754-897-432.
Thanks. Now, do you know the flight number of the plane that you were on last night?
I have my boarding pass stub right here. The flight number was PA356. No. I'm sorry, CA468.
And does the boarding card stub say what seat you had?
Oh yes. It was E6.
And you said that it was Ontario to Alberta. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Question 4.
The woman can be contacted at.
Question 5.
From which airport did the woman board the flight?
Question 6.
The woman left Ontario.
Okay. Now I have to take some details about the bag that you lost. It was a handbag, yes?
That's right.
Can you describe it to me?
Well, I guess it just looks like any regular handbag. It's dark red with black handles and the catch on the top is gold colored.
Okay. What was inside the bag?
Quite a few things actually. Not my passport of course, or I would never have got out of the airport. My purse is inside and that's got about $200. There is also my credit card and some membership cards.
I'll just write that down. Anything else in the bag?
A small paperback that I was reading, some makeup, my work keys, but not my house keys, thank God, and a couple of pens.
Have you informed the police about the loss of the card?
Yes, and I've also cancelled the card with the credit company.
Okay. I will look for it with the Lost and Found department. I'll give you a call back within an hour and tell you what the situation is. If you haven't had a call within an hour and a half, call back this number and ask for me. My name is John. Okay?
Yes, that's great, John. I'll speak to you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Question 7.
What did woman have in her bag?
Question 8.
How much maximum time will the man take to call Callie?
Listening to a daily life conversation. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hey John. I didn't know you were here at the university yet. When did you get here?
I came on Thursday. When did you get here?
I have been here since Tuesday. What classes are you doing this year then?
Well, I am continuing economics of course as that's my major, but I'm taking an extra maths class. What about you?
My major is the same as yours of course, but I'm going to continue the same classes as last year as I liked them so much. What's your Monday timetable like?
Well, at 9, it looks like I've got French for 3 hours.
Well, I've got history for 3 hours which will kill me. The good thing for me is that I've got a free in the afternoon.
No such luck for me though. I've got that extra maths class starting on Mondays.
I guess the extra maths will really help your economics in the long run.
I know. That's why I'm taking it this year. Last year I really struggled with all the maths.
Yeah, it looks like that. You can help me with the maths. Anyways, do you know anything about the first assignment that we have to do?
Yes, it's already up on the economics faculty notice board.
What's the topic of the assignment?
It's about the short-term future of third world economies.
Does the essay list mention how long the essays have to be and the deadlines?
Yes. You remember that last year all the essays had to be 3,000 words in length? Well, that's gone up by 1,000 words.
Oh no. What about the deadline?
The first one has to be in by the 30th October and the second by the 30th November.
Well, at least that hasn't changed.
Question 1.
When did John come to the university?
Question 2.
Why did man choose maths class this year?
Question 3.
What is the topic of the essay?
Question 4.
What is the length of the essay required?
Question 5.
What is the deadline of last essay?
Listening for information. You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
So, Dr. Matthew, why is it important for us to give blood?
Donating blood is not important. It's actually vital that people do this. Without donated blood, thousands of people would die every year, and it's something that could affect everyone. We all expect blood to be there for us, but barely a fraction of those who can give, do. The need for blood is great. On any given day, an average of 38,000 units of red blood cells are needed. Blood transfusions are often needed for victims of things such as accidents and burns, heart surgery, organ transplants, and patients receiving treatment for leukemia, cancer or other diseases.
We really need that much?
Yes, and we need it now. Blood supplies nationwide have reached critically low levels, with less than 1 day's supply of several blood types. Thousands of accident victims, cancer patients, premature babies and countless others who need blood to stay alive are hoping you'll care enough to help them. All blood types are needed.
What are the different types?
It's a bit more complicated than that. First, we collect the whole blood from donors, and then it's sorted into the different types, which are basically O, A, B, or AB, though there are also divisions here. Then the blood is split into its constituent parts. We divide it into 4 basic parts. First there are the red blood cells, then the white blood cells, then things called platelets, and finally plasma. This is shipped off to hospitals where they use the blood parts that the patients need.
What are the different parts used for?
Well, as I said before, the whole blood is your blood, in its natural state, and something we rarely use. It's much more useful to us to have it separated into its component parts. Red blood cells are what everyone associates with blood, that is, it's red. It's widely used to replace lost blood during surgery or when people hemorrhage. Its main function is to carry oxygen to cells. White blood cells are the most important part of the body's immune system, and they're used for patients whose normal defense systems aren't working properly.
Can anyone give blood?
Almost everyone. Donors must be in generally good health, be at least 17 years of age, weigh no less than 110 pounds, have not received a tattoo within the past year, and not have donated whole blood within the past 56 days.
So, that's what blood is all about. Can you tell us, where and when we can donate?
Of course. We're set up here today. Come along between 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. and we'll be able to deal with you within 1 hour.
Question 1.
How many blood cells are needed every day?
Question 2.
How many types blood have?
Question 3.
Blood is divided into 4 parts: red and white blood cells, plasma, and...
Question 4.
What is the main function of red blood cells?
Question 5.
White blood cells are used for the patients.
Question 6.
What is the minimum age to donate blood?
Listening to a news item. You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu.
A new study finds that legitimate marketing emails often get blocked by ISPs or email providers and consigned to spam folders or simply dropped without delivery to the consumers they are emailed to. In the first half of 2010, around 1 in 8 marketing emails, from bona fide companies rather than pumped out by spammers, never reached their intended recipients. The proportion of such emails that don't get there is rising. In the second half of 2009, the figure was about 1 in 9 emails not arriving. This will of course have marketers weeping into their Appletinis, but customers of the ISPs may be happy. What's at issue is quite how desired such emails are. Many sites will sign you up to emails, or say that you haven't opted out, or buy email lists from elsewhere and act all surprised when you contact them to complain. And as there's no equivalent of the telephone preference list for email, having a public email can be a trial. Guy Shelton, Vice President for European Sales and Service at ReturnPath, said ISPs are just trying to do their jobs. ISPs are battling extremely hard to protect their customers from the scourge of spam, he said. Indeed, given that around 98% of email traffic is spam, it's not surprising if ISPs are dumping lots of similar-looking stuff heading for their customers. Still, they have it harder in France, where only 84.1% of those emails reach the recipient. In the UK it's 86.5%, and in Germany it's 87.0%, though Germany tends to regard them much more as spam.
Listening to a discussion. You will watch a 2-minute video. Then 8 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question. It has been seen that the major problem faced by first-year students is time management. Well, I think that university students seems to have a lot of free time available. In other words, university life is sort of unstructured compared to school.
As I see it, the most important thing is to learn and use organizing and time management skills.
I think you're right. The books say we should make 3 kinds of timetables, such as the semester planner, the weekly planner, and a diary for everyday work.
A semester planner is for things you must do and don't change, such as tests and exams, and assignment due dates. A weekly planner is for you to put down classes and extracurricular activities, while the diary is an action list which you can tick for everyday work such as pre-lecture readings, homework, and family functions. They help students organize their time in a systematic way.
To a certain extent, yes, but they are not always helpful. Research shows that it's may be difficult to stick to planners, like it may be difficult to control time in collecting information for papers and projects.
I couldn't agree more. It's hard to fit in part-time jobs, extracurricular activities, and social life with academic. Some social activities just pop up at the last minute and you feel bad turning down invitations.
I've got some tips from university websites, and they say we must learn how to research effectively, such as, we can attend workshops organized by the library, and we could ask teachers for help outside class time and even make use of consultation hours.
Well, we're running out of time, so let's move on to the class.
Listening for viewpoints. You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
How does cybersecurity governance interact with IT governance and corporate governance? So running any business is all about managing risk. So what we do is we have subject matter experts that are positioned on how information security works and what kind of threats we face. Then they're overseen by operational risk people who take a risk perspective, and then both of those organizations or constituencies are overseen by your audit function. All those 3 things converge at a board of directors at a CEO level to make sure that not only is someone accountable for the process, to keep things safe, that someone is overwatching them to make sure that there is balance and they're not taking too much risk. And the first 2 are observed by audit, that'll work for your executive, and in many cases, your board of directors, to make sure that those processes that they've asserted are operating correctly and efficiently. So I would think that risk management within a banking organization is quite different from risk management in a lot of other industries. If you think about how these things fit together, sort of secure organization level strategy, IT governance and cybersecurity within a bank. Can you articulate maybe 1 or 2 things that are just going to be very specific to your industry? If you think about what a bank has to do, it has to be entrusted through your information and wants you to be able to transact like deposits, pay bills, and things of that nature. So for example, if the bank wants to take an online deposit, well, there are some people who might open an account that try to make a false deposit. So you might set limits, say, on how much can be deposited or maybe how much can be withdrawn on a certain day based on risk factors that you balance against convenience or frankly, inconvenience when you prevent a transaction from taking place. It's incumbent upon a bank or any financial institution really to make sure that we're providing the top level of convenience using digital technology. Letting your customer do what they need to do to be part of the financial system, but yet keeping it safe. Right, if you could advise anyone of the 2 or 3 key things to consider in managing cybersecurity, the cybersecurity governance process specifically, what would that be? What would your advice be? When I think about advice you'd give to anyone today, and it's very challenging in the age where we're seeing specialized practitioners emerge. The main thing is to advise anyone that compliance doesn't necessarily equal security. You can download a checkbox on things you should do to manage security from the web. Or you could look to a federal statute or other outside framework. But just checking the boxes isn't going to give you security. You have to look for the spirit of what you're trying to accomplish and make sure you're meeting the spirit of your objective of keeping things safe.